Cool, let's go now with Vlad Gutu. Vlad says, Hi Abe, my name is Vlad. I really appreciate your time and advice. I have a degree in information technology, but over time I realized my true passion is 3D modeling and design. I started seriously learning 3D modeling in May 2024. I had the chance to work at a company making high-poly hard surface models. There, I mostly focused on modeling while learning from the team. Unfortunately, due to health issues, I had to take a break. During my recovery, I spent time improving my skills, UVs, unwrapping, baking, texturing, okay? My ArtStation portfolio includes only the models created during my recovery from start to finish and does not include work from my previous job. Let's see, where... Okay, cool. So, yeah, first things first, man. Vlad, let's take the chair out, man. Whenever I see models like this, and again, this is not personal, but whenever I see models like this, my immediate reaction is someone is trying to make the portfolio a little bit bigger. We just mentioned this, right? Like, having smaller projects is not bad. You just gotta make sure that even if it's a small project, it has enough, like, punch to hold, right? Like, for someone to see it and be like, okay, that's cool, that works, right? So in this particular one, this is something that anyone who just opened Maya like today could learn how to do. Like in 2 hours, like if I just had to teach someone 3D in 2 hours, I can get them to this result because it's just a procedural material, a couple of like basic geometries cut out, and then a nice like HDRI light or something like that. So even though it looks pretty and it looks very clean and it's a nice model, it's just so simple that it's not helping you on your portfolio. Same for this one if we don't include a wireframe. Okay, we do have a wireframe. Okay, so yeah, this wireframe right here, I might keep it. I might keep it just because it's something that looks a little bit more interesting and it has a little bit more complexity topology-wise in the camera area, the lamp, and all that stuff. So this one is potentially a good option, but here's what I would do, and this is something that we mentioned before. If you're gonna be doing product like designs or product commercials, see what people are doing on the internet, okay? Like no one's just like, I know there are some like renders where it's just the phone, but if you can get the phone into a small situation, right? Again, on the top of a table, by the side of a tree, something like this, right? This looks way more interesting than something like, I don't know, this, right? Or this. This is a little bit boring in my opinion. So it's important that you understand that if you're going to be presenting a product that's a relatively simple product like this iPhone, you need to see how you could present it in a more interesting way. Because we've seen product renders like this. Apple does them when they present the phones. Are you going to beat the Apple team? Probably not, right? So it's important that you try to present it in a more unique and original way so that it gives you that extra point when someone is looking at this. Let's see. I'll answer your message in just a second, Domingo. Let's see. Put a robot on the chair, give him a gun. And yeah. You could do a whole scene, Chohi. That could also work. Morka, I asked you a question the other week, but you missed it. Do you have any advice for someone making a sculpt based on a real person? Yeah, likeness. If you're gonna be doing likeness, Morka, if you're copying an actor or an actress, you gotta make sure that you have as much reference as possible, and it's all about measurements, distance between the eyes, size of the nose, distance on the lips, how much each muscle sort of like hangs or how it contracts, the specific wrinkles or patterns that they have in the skin. It's a lot about studying like the specific person and just replicating it. It's technical work, but it's also a lot of creative work. It's not easy, but the best tool that you have there is reference and constant comparison and measurements, okay? So this says, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Te quería preguntar, ¿siempre es necesario un high poly o un CPAS? Me encanta tu contenido. No, it's not always necessary to have a high poly, Domingo. If you're going to be doing bakes, then yes, of course, you need a high poly most of the time. As for CPAS, unless you're doing compositing, you don't really need a CPAS. If you mean going to ZBrush and sculpting, then again, if you're doing high poly, usually, yes, you're going to be doing something like that. I was under the impression that you required a year of experience before portfolio review. This seems lacking in fundamentals. No, I don't think this is lacking in fundamentals. He does mention that he's been working on 3D for a while, so he passes that test. This one definitely looks a little bit more advanced. Again, modeling-wise, texturing-wise. We can definitely improve the texturing. That's a nice model right there. But yeah, Vlad, as someone else is pointing out, a lot of these models definitely look a little bit on the I wouldn't say beginner stage precisely, because you are showing some nice fundamentals, especially for instance here on rendering. This looks very, very nice. But we definitely need to go for something a little bit more ambitious, okay, Vlad? So a lot of these elements right now are very simple looking, and you have the knowledge, or at least the technical knowledge, to model this hard surface stuff. So it's a good idea to jump into something that's a little bit more challenging to you. That's always the thing, right? Like, if you want to grow as an artist, as a person, and as pretty much anything in life, you need to find the things that are challenging you. And if you find that challenge, you will, of course, suffer a little bit. It's going to be hard. That's why it's called a challenge, right? But it will take you out of that comfort zone, and it will push you to create something that's a little bit more interesting, and that will push your career forward, right? Like your artistic skills forward. So that would be my advice. Take out the chair. Think about interesting ways to present, even simple things like this. Tell a story, Vlad. That's one of the best things that I can tell you. Whenever you're preparing a portfolio, you guys need to find a way to tell a story, even if it's a simple story. Like this little guy, he looks cute, and it seems like you were able to post it. So put him in a situation where it's funny. Maybe he's at the park, just watching, the trees or something. Maybe he's buying groceries. It could be anything, right? Same for this one. Place this one on a table, or have it laying on the floor with like a couple of drops of blood somewhere nearby, right? Some empty cases, like casings. So all of these things, like how you tell a story, even with a simple prop like what you have right here, can definitely help you elevate the piece to the next level, and show people that you understand that these elements will eventually be part of a narrative. They're eventually going to be telling something, and they will connect with the audience. Because right now this just becomes a sort of like technical showcase of your skills, which is good. But if we can do that extra little thing, I think it can help you. Okay, let's see. Does he see all portfolio artists? You mean right now, Rashad? Yeah, I'm gonna see all the portfolios that were submitted to our Discord. The submissions are now closed, so, but yeah, all of the ones that were submitted, we're gonna go through them.